So welcome back to my channel. This is Gamer Dom, and this is the American Tier 8 Premium Heavy Tank, the T34. Not to be confused with the Tier 5 Russian medium version T34. This is the big-arsed American Premium Tank, which boasts one of the biggest guns at Tier 8 that you will find. Reason for having a quick look at that tank today is that it's on sale at the moment. Wargaming are doing a special on it. Well, I say a special, it's a bit of a con in my book. So if you buy this as a standard vehicle from the premium shop, it will cost you £38, no it won't, £38.87 in pounds, and that's one of the more expensive of the Tier 8 premium tanks. At the moment, Wargaming are offering two special bundles, and the Ultimate bundle costs exactly the same, but you get a bonus of gold and a number of those sort of missions and ×5 victory things that you can buy. So I guess if you were thinking about buying the T34 as a premium tank, you get all that thrown in for free, inverted commas. Or there is an ultimate, a supreme package, I should get it right somehow, which is a whopping £62.84, or just shy €70, and that gets you the tank, obviously the garage slot, and gets you, what's that, I'm going to do my maths, 10,000 gold, 30 days of premium, and 30 various types of missions. Which is a pretty, well, it's a big old package, but that's a lot of money for it, for anything sort of virtual, which is what these things are. Obviously they're not real. So is the T34 worth it? Well, in fairness, I'm probably the wrong person to ask, because I am very hit and miss in this tank. Is it a good tank? Yes, it's a very good tank. It's great fun to play. Anything that gives out the kind of alpha damage that this thing does is got to be fun to play, right? But it is tremendously frustrating, and I certainly wouldn't recommend it as a beginner's tank, or somebody who hasn't played a lot of games, or isn't very experienced in playing heavy tanks, or tanks that need to worry about long reloads, because that's what this thing is. Incidentally, before we move on, you may have noticed up here on the top here, there is a new mod that you can download from the World of Tanks website itself, which allows you to see where you're rated compared to the other players playing any particular tank in your garage, and that's part of this new mission for October, where if you finish in the top 100, I think it is, of all players in every individual tank from tier 6 upwards, you get all sorts of goodies, and I think the top one gets a hype 59 and blah blah blah. Anyway, but it's quite fun. You can see I haven't played the T34, so you have to have played at least 5 games to get a rating, and it'll show you how good you are or how bad you are compared to everybody else in your who's out there playing the game. Anyway, so T34 heavy. Yeah, it's a big brute of a tank. I mean, look at the size of this thing. A really yeah, just a classic American tank. The American tanks tend, in the game at least, tend to have pretty mediocre or poor hull armor, a big slab of turret armor, and a big gun, or a fairly accurate gun at that. This certainly has the big gun, and the turret armor on this is very good indeed. And the hull armor is yeah, not so great. So let's start out with the gun, because that's what everyone gets excited about. This carries a 120mm gun. It's rated as a tier 9 gun, whatever that means. It has a rate of fire of 4 rounds per minute, so it's very slow. But it does have an extremely high penetration, 248 with a standard shell, 297 with a premium shell. And that's APCR, 60 with HE, so even that's fairly viable. And the damage for the APCR and the standard AP is a whopping 400 average damage. 400. This tank has, I think I'm right in saying, the highest alpha and I think one of the highest penetrations of any tier 8 tank in the game, certainly heavy tanks. So it's a monster gun. And its average damage with HE is 515, and because it's 120mm shell, obviously the HE has a considerable impact. It only has an average DPM of 1600, which is a little on the low side, and that's the big challenge with this gun. When it fires, it is awesome. It just takes a long time to reload. 4 rounds per minute is yeah, pretty sad, pretty sad. Even with a good crew, which I've got in here, and a gun, rammer, I'm still loading, taking nearly 12 seconds to reload that big ass gun. So it's pretty slow. The dispersion is also pretty horrible, and aim time is absolute garbage. 3.4 aim time. So you need to use things like vertical stabilizers, use the best crews you can, use vents. That gets my aim time down on this tank with 2.99 seconds. So yeah, aim time, dispersion are all horrible. But when it connects, it makes a big mess, is the bottom line with this thing. Yeah, so firepower is a little bit, well, it's exciting. It's a really exciting tank to use. Gun traverse or turret traverse is 20.4, which is a little tardy, but it is a heavy tank. And the beauty of this thing, like a lot of American vehicles, it has an extremely good gun depression. -10 on the front there, and upwards is 15, which is a little not particularly brilliant, but it's workable. So minus 10 gun depression and combined with a really good turret armor means this thing is fantastic when it gets in a hull down position. Much like the T29 or the T32, they're all extremely good at working ridge lines, and all extremely good if you can get them hull down. It's a fairly hefty piece of steel in this tank, so 65 tons, 66 tons. I mean, that's not in the Japanese obese range, but it's still pretty pokey. And it's got a reasonable engine, but it does mean, you know, heavy weight plus even a good engine means your top speed is not fantastic, and the same with, and that's very true of this. It's got a pretty sluggish pickup. It only manages 35 kph, and I have to say that's a bit on the hopeful side. You need a bit of a downhill run to get to 35 in it. It's 12 in reverse, which is useful because this thing excels at getting into a position, either hull down so nothing can hit you, nothing can pen this turret, and you can just blast away with that big ass gun, or alternatively you pop out, fire a shot, and then pull back again. So reverse speed at 12 is pretty good. Traverse speed of the hull is 26.6, which is okay as well. So you know, it's a big, heavy, slow moving American heavy tank. Concealment, well, it's a heavy tank, so it's not really going to have any of that. So, and this doesn't. It's a big tank. It doesn't really hide that well. View range is okay. 390 is okay. Signal range nobody cares about, but is also okay. So bottom line, this thing is it's basically all about the gun. It's a massive gun. Oh, I haven't done the armor, just realized, sorry. Hull armor, and there is a bit of angling, you see. There's a little bit of angling. It's a bit flat here, but the hull armor is 102 at the front, which is alright. 76 at the side and 50 at the rear. So yeah, okay. 175 and 50. It's not going to bounce anything at tier 8. That's the thing. That's not true. Occasionally you will bounce the odd shell here and there, but remember, this is a tier 8 premium and it doesn't get preferential matchmaking, so you will face tier 10s and tier 9s, and 100mm of even reasonably sloped armor ain't going to do you any good against those kind of things. Turret armor, 280, 270, something like that, is extremely good. And look at this gun mantle. You know, that's just never going to get penned. So look how thick that is. So yeah, this turret frontally at least is pretty mean. Now in theory the commander's hatch at the back there is a weak spot, but it's pretty hard to pen and it's not much of a target. However, if somebody's firing down on this tank, then or from just sort of slightly elevated, that becomes a viable target, because the front of the turret surely isn't. Side of the turret, yeah, so you got a front 279 at the front, 127 at the side, and it's quite well rounded, surprisingly bouncy, and a whacking rate 203 at the back of the turret, which is which is amazing. I'm guessing that symbolizes some kind of counterweight that they would have put at the back to counterbalance this enormous gun, the turret. But whatever the reason, it means you've actually got extreme. Some tanks don't even have 200 at the front, but this thing has 203 at the rear. So yeah, go figure. So yeah, as I was saying, you've got a big arse gun on a pretty okay tank, and limited mobility like any heavy tank should have. It is obviously a premium tank, which means it is primarily there to help you train your crews. So you can see I have my M103 crew in here. It handily fits all the sort of standard American heavy tank crew layout. So you've got your commander, you've got your gunner, you've got driver, radio man and 2 loaders. So there's no need of any extra crew members that aren't being used anything else, and similarly it doesn't mean you've got somebody not being trained up on this tank because, you know, another tank doesn't have 2 loaders, for instance. So that's good. So it's a good crew trainer. It's also an extremely good credit generator, because as we know, the more damage you do, the more credits you generate, and being that this is a premium, you get a premium increase in credit rate or credit generation. So damage means prizes, and when this thing hits, it hits so hard that you only need to do a couple of good hits and you're already going to be making a reasonable amount of money. So that's all good. So anyway, enough waffle. Someone accused me of talking too much, so I'm going to get into the game and see whether we can actually make this thing work today. Okay, so let's see what we can do. We're in a tier 9 game. And as I said, it doesn't get preferential, so you're going to face tier 9s and tier 10s from time to time. And you know, if you can get in the right position, this thing can hold up reasonably well. So you saw the reload on. I've got a good crew here, and that reload was pretty good. I've lost my reload symbol. That's weird. Okay, it's not very helpful. So we're racing across. Do I go down? I was thinking about going down to the cover of the bridge, but I don't think I'm going to waste myself down there. You can see the speed's okay. I'm doing 28. It's not magnificent, but it's okay. It'll do the job. It's a heavy tank, so you can't expect to go flying along at a huge rate of knots. Just, you know, it's not going to happen. Oh, there's a Leopard PTO. I've been spotted by somebody. Her girlfriend's obviously decided she doesn't want to come in this way now. Came around the corner to face us, and there's a PTO, WZ132 and myself. I'm coming around here because there's some nice hold down positions here, and as I said in the garage, the thing about this tank is the gun depression is pretty good, and if you can get hold down, you can give most tanks a serious headache. The thing is, everything seems to have died over here, so let's go and push this IS-6, which is a good comparison because this thing, see the aim time there? No way I'm going to be a snapshot, no way at all. And because of the reload time, you've got to, oh, he's going to be dead before I even get there. Because of the reload time, you have to really be careful when you use your shots, because you do not want to be having to reload Oh, so I haven't done a thing, haven't fired a shot. Nope, these two are having fun. Bit team killing going on. Oh joy. Knobheads. He's gone blue. Hate blue players. Hate blue players. Don't care what he was about. You should not be shooting your teammates. Can we get a shot of the top there? Yeah, there we go. 353, which is a little bit on the low side, to be honest. And there you go. You see the problem with this tank? Its inability to snapshot. Come on, stick your head out. No, he's dead. Okay. There we go, we got it. So we've done 500 only. Gonna push on. Here we go, reloading again. Takes some time to reload in this thing, but the effect is satisfying. Can't get a shot on him. Missed him, damn it. He's pulled back, you see, he's quicker than me. Right, we're going to do some face hugging. Bounce that one. Ram. Oh, he's dead. Can we reload in time to hit him? Ah, hit him, but didn't hit him in the right place. That was a bit of a wasted shot. Aiming for his lower plate. Can we get a shot in there? Come on. Got him. I knew he had to pull back at some time to fire his gun. So we only did 1500 damage, but you know. Oh, and a team kill obviously, but it doesn't count. So let's see, we finished. Oh, so no particular. Oh, we got third class. We got fire for effect. Finished fourth on our team. 1,511 damage, 2 kills, 767 base XP. 8 shots fired, 7 of them hit, 6 caused damage for that 1,500 damage. We took 2 shots, neither of which penned. They both bounced off us. 60,000 credits, 60,000 and a half, and that was only on a pretty mediocre game. So even after costs, which were pretty low, 52,000 profit. Very, very nice indeed. And that's the beauty of these tanks. As you know, premium tanks get a premium bonus, and that is why you buy them, that and crew experience. So even if I hadn't been running a premium account, I still would have made 31,000 profit on that game, nearly 32,000. And with my times 3, well, it was 1151 XP times 3, bonus of 115 for being in a premium tank, gave me a whopping 3,568 for my 103 crew. Would have still been 2,300 if I hadn't been running premium. So yeah, distinctly mediocre game, still made a nice healthy profit, and that's why you like the T34. we're going to have another game, see what we can do. So here we go. It's a nice matchup this time. We're on a tier 8 game, airfield. I'm going to push through the heavy area, see what we can do. There are 2 enemy artilleries. You can see climbing that slope a little bit tough for this thing. It's just quite big. Even though the engine on it is very, very good, it's just a little bit slow to get moving. So the acceleration's pretty poor. The climbing is pretty poor. On the flat, you know, here we're doing, I was lying about you needed a slope to do 35. I'm doing 35 there. It's not too bad. You know, at the end of the day, it's a heavy tank. Heavy tanks are heavy because of all the armour, and because of all the armour, they're slow. You can't have it both ways. Oh dear, there goes one of our scouts. So, now the good thing here is I know that there's nobody round. Ooh, got a flanking shot on me because you can see our Cromwell and our other T37 are all round the corner there. Sorry about the noise outside. Sounds like the road sweepers are about. So I'm going to try and push around this side. Don't want to go too far because I'll get shot by things that are hiding up there. Yeah, sure enough. Sure enough, there's something up there on the hill. Yep, there he is. Look at that, 416 hit. Who needs a derp when you got a gun like this? Is he going to come back round? He's thinking about it, you know. So I'm going to push. A shot on him, so I'm not going to try. I'm trying to put a flame shot in there because sometimes you can set him on fire from behind. Pull him back because you can see the load time on this thing is pretty tardy. I mean, he's getting away with some nice low rolls from me whilst he's having a go. Try and bait him. That's better. Ow. T34 just hit me, and WOT just hit me as well. Missed him, he's going to kill me. Oh, I bounced him. Wow. Ah, I got him, he got me. Simultaneous kill. Pushed my luck a bit there. I was hoping that our team would push through on the Tiger and what have you, but I guess the problem is they had the Scorpion and T28 prototype all sitting at the back there. So mind you, we've got a big experience lead. Hit point lead. So we'll see how this one pans out. Science 2 is having a good game. So the enemy have 1,700 hit points, we have 5,200. So a big boost. So anyway, you can see from the game there that you can bounce stuff on the front. I was lucky that T34 had one shot on me initially, and I managed to avoid it, or bounce the shell. Oh, don't get too close together, guys. The Artie's still around, remember. There you go. Oh, that wasn't Artie, that was a T28 prototype. Don't pace. Oh, bloody hell, what is this T37 doing? Go round. hell is he playing at? Oh dear, this could end badly. The Scorpion is well capable of killing that IS-2, sorry. And the IS-2 seems to want to go and fight him. Oh, but fair dues to him. Oh, the arty got him. Okay, good. This T-37 is a bit of a loose cannon. So anyway, should be a win. We'll come back when this game is over. So sure enough, that turned out as a win, which is good. We got another third class. Eye for an eye, which is a fun one. So that was basically simultaneously being destroyed at the same time as destroying the enemy that shot you. So that me and that T34 committed suicide by T34, it seems, and also fire for effect. Where did I finish on the team? Only middle of the pack this time. Did 1900 damage, 1 kill, 589 XP. It's because we were top tier, I guess, so we didn't get as much for it. 6 shots fired, all 6 hit, but only 5 of them penned for that nearly 2,000 hit. And you can see 5 shots, nearly 2,000 damage. You know, you cannot sneeze at that. We took 6 hits, 5 of them penned, so the armor didn't hold up so well in this game. We were fighting some big tanks, so you know, fair enough. 66,000 credits though, look at that. Again, on a fairly mediocre game, 66,000 credits, 52,000 profit, even though I was destroyed and had to be rebuilt. If I hadn't been running premium, I still would have made 30,000 on that. And you know, I'm very happy to say that I'm not the best player of a T34 by any means. I am fairly hit and miss, and yet I can make 50-60,000 credits on a fairly basic game. So that's the T34. Oh, just on equipment side, I think I mentioned it earlier on, but just so you know, for any doubt, some people ask. Vertical stabilizers. I use that because that helps the aim time. 20% to accuracy during movement and turret rotation. Really strong. I also have loader, obviously, rammer, sorry, and vents, because that improves everything, speed, mobility, load time, aim time, everything. So those are the equipment I use. I guess there's a case for possibly putting, what else could you put on there? Enhanced gun lane drive, maybe. I prefer the overall effect I get from vents, so that's why I use it. Doesn't carry a huge amount of ammo, but as you see, you don't really get to fire that often because it's such a slow aim time. So I've got 20 AP, 9 APCR and 5 HE. I also, oh, this is going to tempt fate, I've never had a fire, touch wood, so I don't carry a fire extinguisher. I use Coca-Cola instead because that also helps to the reload of the gun. And at the end of the day, this is all about the gun. It's all about the gun. It's never a song about it's all about me anyway. It's all about the gun, and you need to reload it as quickly as you can. So I take rammer, I take vents, and I take Coca-Cola, all to help the ramming of this gun, so it can spit out death that much quicker, because that's how you generate the credits. So anyway, that's the T34. It's a good, solid, heavy tank. As I say, I would certainly not suggest it's a great tank for a beginner, but then a beginner shouldn't really be taking a tier 8 premium tank. If you're starting the game, only played a few thousand games, a couple of thousand games, unless you are a complete natural at the game, I would certainly stick at one of the tier 6 premiums or even lower, rather than coming all the way up to tier 8s. Tier 8s are tricky to handle, and you are going to fight tier 9s and tier 10s, and that is no fun if you have no idea what you're doing. So if you're going to buy something lower premium, lower tier. If you're a very good heavy driver and you really like your American heavy tanks, then the T34 is a really good brawler, a really good in-your-face damager. It's a good crew trainer, and it generates a good amount of credits. Yeah, that's the T34. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a like down below, and click on the subscribe button, please, if you haven't already done so. It's free, it's easy, it just helps you to see when I post videos. So do that, and I will see you again soon. Thanks for watching. Enjoy your games, have fun. Just remember, it's just a game. Don't take it too seriously, and I'll see you again soon. Gamerdom out.